The details now. A joint security task force has stormed the Abublushi market to enforce compliance of the relocation of onion sellers to Adjen Kotoku. The task force, made up of the police, military and fire service personnel, is reported to have fired tear gas and rubber bullets. Today is the deadline for the traders to relocate to that new site. We'll be bringing you more on what the Director of Police Operations, ACP Kwesi, said earlier to my colleague Manuel Kranting. But let's take you live now to the Abublushi market. There are still concerns about the manner in which the operation was carried out. Some of the traders there say that they are not onion sellers, but they have been affected by the demolition exercise that happened earlier today. Manuel Kranting is there. The Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey is speaking.
More informed public, more educated public, and you have come along with us to make Accra work. There has been other stakeholders, maybe RCC, maybe I'm Ijura, me chief director, and the staff Nina, Afe Zoom Lion. Without him, this exercise wouldn't have been successful. So you see a danasi. Na empo. I want to salute them. Sir, invitation no, I'm saying Adjen Kotoku no man tia but if we no, obesha, I'm saying kanoko enra. About 90% of them had left, and that means they have shown good faith. They have collaborated with us, and the exercise has been smooth. Until we need to actually thank them. Now, beyond that, members of Parliament of the Upper East Parliamentary Caucus, members of Parliament of the Greater Accra Parliamentary Caucus, and again, the majority leader, minority leader, because one say Eban say no, we are in politics. And we need to applaud them. MP now Waha Ablikuma Central. I mean, said the last 1 week wada. Of years is here. He has done very well on Inkrofona Kasa wa Church Nyememu. Afe ye National Chief Imam and the Advisory Board. Ye Dominina say Security Intelligence Agencies. And Munina. Well, Mushe Ejuma ye or Henenua. Me eneno mean to me in Kasaye because me uraho. So share Hornoa. Now Bisa who say, oh. Until we this is the capital city of Ghana, and this is what we find ourselves in. Say we know, send the bed 3 days nebeye, but Cecia de Evuno, one share be the bear 1 week or her, and son it me a clear. Me per se ye caso so say, Dan Crawford, Kaka Facebook say, oh, where we know. Yeah, manipa bakunko and sanichim behavior. It is done. We are going to move on. We are taking possession of the land and we'll put it to its good use. That one we can assure you. Aside that, no, I'm saying the Akani de Yakupo near the Memano. Near than as I say. Na unprofobibri and Susu say a bit me abaso. But there is a living God that I will serve. And that God today has made this exercise a success. Oh, the Etienne said, you start here, no. You engage stakeholders, Ablikuma Central, MC, no, hey. And I'm a chief director. Yeah, share that taxi and engage stakeholders now, including the scrap dealers. The scrap dealers no statements now. Now they were to benefit from 50,000 Ghana cedis out of the package. They decided to fight us that they would not go. Now there is a wrong impression and a signal omo criticize. Womo scrap no FED GIZ for no, they deal in copper and batteries. They don't deal in metals, this scrap. So the existence here has got nothing to do with GIZ4 program. And I want to say it again, sir. Consultations in stakeholder winning, they were approached. Even Enra, now I'm paying for no from some major music, now they were bluffing. Apparently, almost where they are by a big Akraniako. Sana no much beyond. And we have been fair to them. We have demonstrated good faith to everybody. And Yampre, a moment, Saha, and say, Jumano. Because one more Jumano Crano and Magana, and that number one. Hazardous e-way. Send an American radio, so not service a month, and then there's more. When you know, move fancy, you are saying, to see a yana. And yet, I think that this is where we are. We'll continue the exercise, as I said. It will last for about a week. Initially, we thought, say, 4 days, but it's going to go beyond that. And when we are, you have a pioneer, traveling in our wall, nothing, near me, they were to us, near their trust. And you know, let us be circumspect in the choice of our reportage. Say the mobile na obi tutu abo eboya na yanko yes oh and microphone na post for no. Let's be very honest. From Anopa Bisine, it's been a very peaceful exercise. Very, very peaceful. Until microphone so mukobo man and the ain't been down jomo. Our man don't maybe we will not allow that. No, they cannot take the law into their own hands. So that's the position. The attorney say mobe kaya. Yedi omuko for no can say onions don't like cement. And the stores no there, it's not part of the negotiations. So say we are here baby meaning so ko no hu say adjoining lands. Ah ye gusu nyina 040 am kama. Me no can say nka show the ekoso ho ene. And the cars nyina ko ho mu lodu kaswa. What they are selling. They no mu can say microphone today. I feel the car to free Adjen Kotoku to kaswa. Thank God. Just the first day. And their business is okay. There's no problem. Stores in the American and know a different issue. But even that, one just store needs to work for 16 years. And they should know that something should be done. It was timely. And the MC has been giving firm instructions. Nobody is moving into that shop. But that shop is part of the arrangements. So that's it's closed.
The evidence is this.
But I understand what you are saying. You have to listen to me. Evidence on paper does not mean somebody is entering into the shop. Who the paper go to YouTube share just with them.
So thank you very much. We are switching to English.
You heard the Greater Accra Region Minister, Henry Quartey, talking about today's operation at the Agbogbloshie market, responding to some of the claims by other traders and scrap sellers in the area who say that this was just for onion sellers. He is dispelling that. He claims that they were all included. In fact, there was a certain package for them budgetary-wise, and so they all know that this exercise was going to happen today. He says this has been a peaceful operation, and he believes that it will take them about 1 week prior to the earlier 3 days set aside to relocate all the sellers in that area. But let's hear from Director of Police Operations, ACP Kwesi Ofori, who spoke earlier to my colleague Manuel Kranting.
It is a peaceful exercise that have been discussed, planned regarding the evacuation of the onion traders. They have fully cooperated, and even they are not here. Currently, they are even setting up at Adjen Kotoku. But it is some criminal elements that want to take advantage of the situation to mar the operation. And as I said, it is a planned operations, and you can see the security forces taking every step to protect traders even at the other side where we are.
Right.
Because it is the intention of the criminals also to burn and disrupt their businesses. And here is not part of what we're doing. But due to the fact that the criminals are molesting the market women, wanted to take advantage of the situation and cause mayhem, we have decided to protect them. And all that we are doing to protect our women, our children, the aged, and the traders here.
Sir, but I mean, you say some criminal elements. I mean, what's the number of people that we're talking about to warrant the firing of tear gas and the use of crowd control vehicles? I can see the water cannons.
You might have noted the setting up of fire. You might have noticed the throwing of missiles and so forth in the open market.
Right.
And it is the responsibility of the police and the security forces present here to protect them, and that is what we are doing.
And how long is this going to continue? Because this entire stretch has now been dejected. I see the shops are locked. When are we going to see?
It is the criminals who are trying to attack, and the police is rather, and the security forces are rather making sure that we protect them. You might have noticed that there is no violence among the traders here. Rather, it is a crop of boys.
Now, let me take you back to Bablushi, where the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey is still speaking on development matters.
Their intervention and the role they played in the series of engagement that we had with the leadership of the onion sellers. The security and intelligence agencies, we thank them. Zoom Lion, of course. And all the stakeholders. I mean, they have enjoyed a tremendous support from the Regional Coordinating Council headed by the Chief Director. And of course, I have the Ablekuma Central MC by my side, who I don't know whether has slept in the last 2 weeks. She's been busy on the field. And that is not to forget the members of Parliament, particularly the Upper East Parliamentary Caucus, the Greater Accra Parliamentary Caucus. This approach has been done without politics, and I hope we can approach all other matters in this country like this. If we do so, Ghana will go forward, and Ghana will grow very fast. To this end, I can only say that this morning when I got here, in fact, I was shocked. All along, when you drive past this place, you see, what they do in front, and little did I know what was behind it. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen it. It is not a pleasant scene at all. But today we are here. And as you can see, the security agencies are busy trying to pull down the rest of the structures. Initially, we were hoping to do this in 3 days, but clearly, it appears we'll be here for about a week and a half. So we are able to clear everything and then make it a ground zero. As I said, I'm short of words today, but I'm aware that even at Adjen Kotoku, as we speak, today being the first day, ordinarily one would have thought that, they will be struggling to even find space. But I'm reliably informed, and some of you have been there, that today they have started doing business. And it is refreshing to note that trucks have already started loading from Adjen Kotoku from the market to Kaswa. Isn't this beautiful? This is exactly what we said, that is going to open up the business there and it will create more jobs there. So we are happy that this day has come. And as I said, we can only thank the media so far for the collaboration, the support that we enjoyed from you, and your information to the public, and then the education as well. Let us continue to work as we chart the path of ensuring that Accra works. And I know that very soon, if we are able to work the way we are working, the mantra of making Accra work by the grace of God will become a reality for all of us.
what's the response to your concern, especially the scrap dealers, because they were not engaged?
Well, GIZ is a government-to-government project. Now, you see, let's get this straight. The GIZ program is supposed to be fed with not scraps, copper, and batteries. But they have now begun using scraps here. Now, the MCE and other people that we put together throughout these exercises have engaged them severally, to the extent that if you remember, when I mentioned the package for them, the scrap dealers had 50,000 Ghana cedis. Yesterday, when the committee was ready and were disbursing the money, they refused to come and take it. And they said they were going to fight us because they would not move. Well, the thing is that we are saying that everybody has to move from here. We have lands outside this area. If indeed they want to do business, fine. There's a place for them to go. But I want to put it on record that whatever they are doing here is not feeding the GIZ projects. No, it is not. And you are aware that Ghana is #1 on the hazardous e-wastes. You can Google it now and check. And these are some of the things that we are talking, because they burn things here. I'm sure you can see them. They burn it. And then they emit all this hazardous, whatever, pollution into the air. So this is where we are.
We understand some of the traders are moving to Gumwa instead of Adjen Kotoku after taking the money. Have you heard this, and what are you doing about it?
Oh, government or Adjen Kotoku is a place that was acquired by government for them to relocate. We have done our part. We have ensured that a package has been given to them for them to relocate. The choice to stay and do business in Adjen Kotoku is theirs. We will not impose anything on them. If they feel that doing business in Kaswa will be good for them, fine. There wasn't a condition on the package to say, because we've given you X amount of money, you have to move to Adjen Kotoku by all means. The message was for them to transport their goods from here. So once they have moved from here, we are fine. Well, as I said, we will clear all the debris. Immediately after that, we will erect a fence wall. After the fence wall, there are quite a number of projects that have been lined up, and it will begin in earnest.
So that's Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey speaking about today's operation to move some traders out of the Agbogbloshie market for relocation at Adjen Kotoku. Let's head to Adjen Kotoku now. My colleague Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson is there for us. Hello, Mamiesi. So we just heard the Greater Accra Regional Minister say that there's a lot of activity at the Adjen Kotoku onion market. Even for day one, he mentioned some commercial vehicles applying Adjen Kotoku Kaswa route. Are you able to confirm that?
Exactly, Bernice. There's a lot of activity going on here, and as we know, today is the deadline for most of the traders to be here at Adjen Kotoku. We came here to realize that most of them are here actually with their goods, but the problem is a majority of the sheds where they will be setting up aren't ready. And so what they have done is to set up racks in the open spaces and put their onions there. And so that is what is happening now. Also, what I'm seeing is that workers, carpenters, masons, they're trying to get the sheds ready for the traders to use. So currently, it's very busy here, but of course, the traders are also trying to find space for their goods.
So, Mamiesi, we've seen the police and military and some fire service personnel, I beg your pardon, at the Abobloshi market. Do we have same at Adjen Kotoku? Who is facilitating this particular resettlement?
So then is over here at Adjen Kotoku, there's nothing like the police personnel or any security personnel. I haven't seen any so far. But what it is that there are different groups of people here at Adjen Kotoku. So we have the onion sellers as well as the livestock dealers who are supposed to be here, but you don't see livestock here at the moment. They are also expecting scrap dealers to also come and find their space here. And so these people are dealing in groups. Currently, those that you see much of are the onion sellers who are currently trying to get sheds for their onions. And so that is how things are going on here. They work with their groups. There are 5 groups of onions. I beg your pardon. There are 5 onion groups. So they will be working with their leaders to find sheds for their produce. Bennett.
And the fact that there is the allocation of a place for them at the Adjen Kotoku market. When we went to Manuel, who's currently at Agbogboshi, the scrap dealers claimed that they were not part of this relocation. You've been following up on this particular exercise by government since the time they planned it, the discussions with the traders and all. Are you able to tell us what the exact plan was for the scrap dealers who are at Agbogboshi?
Okay, so what I learned from the minister is that this exercise is going to be in phases.
Okay.
And so the onion sellers are the first phase of the project. What will be done subsequently is to bring in the livestock and then the scrap dealers to this site.
Okay.
And so those discussions are ongoing, but it is firmed up with the onion traders right now. Okay. For the scrap dealers, they'll be coming subsequently. And even some monies have been made available for them to even transport their goods. So I'm sure that their leaders will be told what to do from going forward.
Right, Mamia C. Nyamicha Thompson, they're coming to us from Adjen Kotoku, reporting on what is currently happening there. You can see some live visuals in your shots of some wooden frames there. And she's been telling us how the traders are setting up today with regards to that particular resettlement. You heard her talk about the plan for the scrap dealers and other sellers in the area. And so we'll be getting more on that and asking for more clarity from the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Away from that, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference says the setting up of a ministerial committee to probe the Ijura violence is not the right move. President Akufo-Addo yesterday instructed Interior Minister Ambrose Derry to conduct a public inquiry into the disturbances at Ijura that led to the death of 2 people. 4 others sustained various degrees of injury when residents clashed with police and military personnel deployed to the area to quell violence. Speaking to Joy News in an interview, President of the conference, Most Reverend Name, said previous probes have yielded little. Us on the phone with more. Thank you so much for your time here this morning, sir. And let me start by saying that quite a lot of people are excited that the Christian community is speaking about this particular matter. They had called on it earlier, but all the same, thank you for joining us this afternoon. So, sir, what method of probe would have been more appropriate for you?
What method?
Yes. So you said that the ministerial probe or the public inquiry is not the right move. So I'm asking, what is the alternative that you're prescribing?
I think that the first thing is we've lost a Ghanaian in a very troublesome moment. We expected those who govern us to express sympathy and compassion to the family, and at least to condone with them as soon as the news of the death of this activist was heard. It would reflect tolerance of dissenting views, and it would not kind of indicate that somebody who is criticizing the government or appears to be criticizing the government is not tolerated in a democratic Ghana. So this order to have a probe coming 4 days after the man's death is what I consider inappropriate. You leave the family alone as if, okay, it serves him right. He's talking against fixing the government. But this is something that they themselves said they would do. This is something that they said if we are given the nod in the few months, we will fix everything. It's not coming from him. It's coming from the government. And they have promised so many things, and they are not doing any of it. And nobody should say anything about it. So this is what we are talking about. It's not a probe. And besides, all Ghanaians know about what happened with the probes. They said a commission of inquiry. People do work for months, sometimes years, and when they come out, especially with the NPP government led by Nana Addo, they choose what they want to implement, but not the recommendations of the probe that has been set up. They just take one or two things of what they want to implement, and the rest is like, no, we don't like this. So I think Ghanaians should be aware of the effect of what these commissions or investigations are about, especially with this government. So that is why many Ghanaians don't lend any credence to that. And that is why I said it's inappropriate. Show humanity, show compassion. If you have lost a very, what I would say, valuable person in this dispensation.
Okay. So, I mean, apart from the deaths that occurred during this protest at Ijura, there have been concerns about the use of the military in matters of the interior. Today, there's another event, the military is involved. I just want to know what the Catholic Bishops' Conference thinks about this particular concern, which is shared by some civil society organizations, including Occupy Ghana.
Well, we share the same view that many Ghanaians are speaking about. I mean, we know that in things like this, the police are normally sent there. Why do they send the army, who kind of taking focus and shooting to kill innocent Ghanaians? We are very well equipped these days with this video machinery, and Ghanaians can see the soldier kneeling down and trying to aim and kill. This is there. It can be played and replayed again. This is a viral video. So what is the purpose of all of that?
Right.
What is the purpose
finally,
of all of this? So we are not in a war situation. We are in a defense situation. They are trained and deployed to protect Ghanaians. And so when we see pictures like this, it is awful.
Right. So finally on this, for the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, what's the next move? I'm talking in terms of what the conference is doing, either directly or indirectly with government, to ensure that some of these things aren't recorded in the future.
Well, I don't think that you can expect too much from this. We have given a statement. We expect also Ghanaians who have elected them to do something about it.
And when you say do something, of course, definitely, but you lead, I may say, arguably, one of the biggest religious organizations in the country. So when you say Ghanaians will have to do something, what exactly do you mean, sir?
Well, what is Ghanaians who have elected them? If it sounds so awful as it sounds to us, Catholic bishops, they should come out and say something about it. They have elected this government to power. And they have shown in several instances. First of all, when they went in and they started training their own security, it started at the castle, then it went to somewhere in the eastern region near Akuse. I've visited one of their training camps myself personally. So I know what I'm talking about.
For purposes of clarity, Ms. Reverend, what training camps are you referring to?
That is what I'm training of, what do you call it? I wouldn't call it vigilante, but foot soldiers of the NPP.
Okay.
And at that time, you, the media, were very active about talking about this. It ended into nothing.
Okay.
Should any government elected train its own security people? And this is happening. It means that the next government to come into power will do the same thing. And we believe that some of these who they give the uniform that can aim and kill dissenting people with dissenting views. So this is what I mean by saying that Ghanaians know the facts. And so you don't ask the Catholic bishops what is the next thing to do.
Thank you for
We also voted, but we are not, it's not only Catholics who voted the government into power.
Definitely. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, and I appreciate it. Most Reverend Philip Name is president of the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference, and they've been commenting on the issue at Ijura. The latest development in that issue is that the national executives of the NDC are currently in Ijura to visit families of the deceased and injured. John Yusuf Mohammed Nuruddin joins us live with more. Hello, Nuruddin. What can you report?
Hello, Benny.
Yes, Nuruddin.
The family house of Abdel Nasir,
okay.
Yusuf, and today is a dua, and so parents and families are here to mourn with their family. And so we also have the national executive of the NDC. We have Sami Jemfi, we have Akamba, and some members of the NDC here. And so they have been talking to the family and also asking that the police commander, in the municipal police commander should be interdicted. They are also saying that the MCE, who is responsible for security in the municipality, should also be, dismissed from office because they claim he is the one who ordered the military to, actually conduct what happened 3 days ago. And so that is what is happening here at the family house of Abdel Nasir Yusuf.
And so, just for those who don't really understand what the Ijura is, what's that? Has he already been buried? Tell us exactly what's happening.
Well, Ijura is a camp. Since yesterday, people are going around conducting their businesses. They are only talking about how this peace, just 2 days peace, would be maintained. And the families of Abdel Nasir and Muntala are still mourning. They are not happy about what happened, and they want government to look into the issue and make sure that those who actually perpetrated that act, the military officers who shot these two guys, would be brought to book. Aside that, Ijura is calm. It has returned to its normal, situation that we
Nuruddin,
in the past.
Nuruddin, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
It appears you didn't get my question clearly. I was just asking, you mentioned that there was an Ijura happening, and I was saying that for those who don't know what that is.
Well, it's a funeral, the prayer, the funeral rites of Abdel Nasir Yusuf, one of the guys who was shot by the military men.
Right.
And so they are praying to Allah to forgive him and to, grant him heaven. So that is what they are doing here. So families across the country, relatives across the country are here to also pray for Abdel Nasir Yusuf.
Thank you, Nuruddin Mohammed, joining us from Ijura. Away from that, Deputy Majority Leader in Parliament, Alexander Ahwenyomarkin, has described as misplaced the minority's rejection of the investigative committee President has directed the Interior Minister to set up to investigate the killings in Ijura. Minority Leader Ijura told a media briefing on Wednesday the minority is rejecting that committee because a ministerial committee will be impartial in its investigations. He's demanding a presidential commission rather. But Mr. Ahwenyomarkin says a committee will do a good job as a commission would have done.
Completely disagree with them, and I think that it's a misplaced political argument. A minister of state has a responsibility to address matters in his or her sector ministry. If somebody gets up and says that it should be a commission and not a committee, what is it that the committee cannot do that it will take a commission to do? They've not provided that legal basis to support the argument. And I'm saying that a ministerial committee, as we all know, is charged with inquiring, fact-finding mission, finding out what really happened, making recommendations for implementation as swiftly as possible.
Now away from the Ijura situation, fisherfolk in the Keta municipality of the Volta region are demanding livelihood support from government during the close season. According to them, the closure would worsen their living conditions within the 1-month period. They say they are yet to recover from havoc caused by the coronavirus pandemic. They are asking government to give them some stipends to cushion their livelihood.
It's sunrise here at the London Beach in Keta, in the Keta municipality of the Volta region. Most of the fisherfolks have returned from the night's expedition and are making efforts to pull their nets out. As the fishermen dock their boats, the women parade the shores with their bowls to purchase the fish and prepare them for sales. This has been the phenomenon here every morning except Sundays. However, starting from the 1st of July, fishing activities in Ghana's marine waters would cease. The closed season, introduced as an intervention to restore the depleting fish stock, is from 1st July to 31st July for canoe and inshore fishers, and from 1st July to 31st August for industrial trawlers. Cosby, who inherited the fishing profession from his father, fears the policy would bring hardship to their families within the period. We were not consulted before a decision was taken on the closed season. We had to stop fishing for about a month. What will we survive on? We have school fees, medical bills, among others, to pay. It now behoves on females to take care of their household since their husbands would be idle at home within the period. Mansa Aholumega laments the period would be a difficult one for her 5-member family.
Thank you so much for staying here and joining us today with me, Bernice Abubeidul. Coming up shortly in business, the EU is warning of blacklisting cocoa exports from Ghana. Darryl Carl has details of that. Do stay.
Good afternoon, time for business. My name is Darryl Carl. The EU is warning of blacklisting cocoa exports from Ghana if cases of child labor are not addressed. But the chief executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boayin Edu, has expressed concern over what he describes as misconception about the involvement of children in cocoa farming. At a high-level conference on cocoa in Accra, Mr. Boayin Edu called for a distinction to be made between child work and child labor. More in this report.
Conference between cocoa stakeholders in the country and the European Union ended with the EU warning of blacklisting cocoa exports from Ghana if cases of child labour are not addressed. But the chief executive of Cocoa Board, Jusaboahin Edu, expressed concern over what he described as a misconception on child labour across cocoa farms in Ghana. He therefore warns a distinction made between child work and child labour.
Within the Ghanaian, context, social context, men don't carry water. If you are a married man, you are not supposed to go to the riverside and fetch water. The moment you are seen to be carrying water from the riverside to the home, you are considered to be, a foolish person. That is, you are a fool. That is our culture. So the question that Jata asked was, so who carry water? I said, married women. He said, I said, yes, this is our culture. Married women carry water in Ghana. And therefore, if you're a child at the age of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years, you cannot sit in the house whilst your mother goes up and down the riverside to fetch water. When you sit in the house and allow your mother to be going up and down the riverside to fetch water, you are seen as a spoiled child. You will not live out to become a responsible person. This is our culture. So right from the age of 11, 12, you start going to the riverside to fetch water. But when people from elsewhere come to see these things, they classify them as child labor. I said, it's child work. So you have to make the distinction.
The Dutch ambassador to Ghana, Ron Straker, commended Cocoa Board for ensuring sustainable cocoa farming. He wants more collaboration on this feat.
We are doing this because we would like to have sustainable cocoa, and we know now by way of repetition very well what sustainable cocoa means. There's a good price, there is no child labor and no deforestation. But we are going for it, but Europe, and that is Europe, and I think also a couple of member states, and then includes the Netherlands, we are also here to support you. And that is a very clear message as well.
Meanwhile, Diana Concha, who heads the European Union's delegation to Ghana, has confirmed to Joy Business that Ghana will officially be out of the EU's money laundering blacklist by the end of September. According to her, some documents are being finalized to officially take out Ghana's name from the list.
The European Union will follow suit. Ghana has no more requirements to comply with from our side. There will be a procedure to take Ghana off the list of the European Union, which with the European Union administrative proceedings will take probably about a month, and then another month before the final adoption. But it is a formality. Again, Ghana has done what it has to do, so now it's just a question of the papers running through their normal course.
So it means that by August or September, Ghana will formally be out of the blacklist in the EU?
Yeah, I hope even before. I'm counting a couple of months, yes, July and August, so yes, in September this should be done.
The high-level conference.
All right, and there's more business news coming up at the top of the hour. Up next, sports with Muftau.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Sports on Joy News. Today, I am Muftau Nabila Abla. The government of Ghana has dropped its plans to construct a 50,000 capacity stadium to serve as Games Village for a successful organization of the competition. Sports Minister Mustafa Usif announced that due to the delay in starting the construction of proposed Olympic-sized stadium in Borteman for the Games as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has become apparent that the full stadium may not be completed on time, and they have chosen the alternative of having the Games in multiple venues.
After careful study of the timelines, the Ministry, in consultation with the local organizing committee, have adopted a hybrid approach to construct the project in phases by leveraging on existing facilities at the University of Ghana and build other facilities that are not available but are requirements for the hosting of the Games. The following facilities will be constructed to satisfy the requirements for hosting of the tournament. 1. completing the University of Ghana Stadium, including resurfacing of the existing athletic track and constructing of warm-up track at the University of Ghana Stadium, just 5 minutes close by. A 1,000-seater competition swimming pool, that is 8 lanes competition swimming pool, an 8-lane warm-up swimming pool, a 500-seater temporary dome for handball, judo, karate, taekwondo, wrestling, and basketball, a 1,000-seater multi-purpose hall for badminton, boxing, volleyball, and weightlifting, and also para sports, a 1,000-seater multi-purpose hall for basketball, table tennis, and wrestling, 5 tennis court complexes, including 1,000-seater center court, converted spectator stand with 20 capacity VVIP viewing seats. The other 4 courts should each have 200 spectators seats.
Now let's talk about the Black Bombers of Ghana who left the shores of the country yesterday, and their head coach Ofori Asare has revealed that the team is well prepared ahead of the Tokyo Olympic Games. Mr. Ofori believes, based on the work done in the gym, the boxers are well conditioned and ready to represent the country well.
We've prepared enough, and we need this medal very, very much. And we are going there to put up the performance that will get us a medal home. If the opportunity comes and we get gold, we'll bring it. If we get silver, we'll bring it. If we get bronze, we'll bring it. It is not an easy thing. Even look at Ghana itself. For many years, we only have 3 medals. We can't just say that we are going to do this and as if we don't know what is going on. The level where we are going, it is a bigger level. Even qualifying to that competition itself is an achievement. So we qualify 3 boxers to that platform, and we are going there to be able to make a mark. We put up all our best, and as the captain said, this is the time that we've prepared more than the other preparation.
And that was the head coach of the Black Bombers. On this note, we say thanks very much for joining us for Sports on Joy News today. Head on to myjoyonline.com and read some more sports stories. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.
Now time to bring you world news update. And U.S. comedian Bill Cosby's release from prison after his sexual assault conviction, which was overturned, has led to an outpouring of anger and shock. His 2018 conviction for drugging and molesting ex-basketball player Andrea Constant was overturned on Wednesday. Judges said there had been a process violation by the prosecution, but admitted their ruling was unusual. Many have expressed concern that the decision could deter women from coming forward in the future. The decision is not only disappointing but of concern in that it may discourage those who seek justice for sexual assault in the criminal justice system from reporting or participating in the prosecution of the assailants, Ms. Constant and her attorneys said. Upon his release, Mr. Cosby tweeted, "I have never changed my stance nor my story. I have always maintained my innocence." That'll be it for this edition of Joy News today. Really appreciate your company. Do log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. Up next is the Marketplace with Daryl Kwal. Stay for that and stay here on the Joy News channel. I'm Bernice Abubedulansa. Good afternoon.